Hello, chemistry students. Today we're going to be performing our atoms and spectra experiment. So in this lab, we're going to learn different ways to identify elements by their spectra, and we're also going to look at methods of exciting electrons in atoms. So today I'm going to be working through parts B and D of this experiment with you. So let's get started. Okay, so in part B of our atoms and spectra lab, we're going to be looking at cation spectra. The first cation spectra that we'll be looking at is lithium. So we're going to take our lithium chloride solution, we'll dip our nichrome wire in, and place it in the flame. The second cation spectra we'll be looking at is sodium. So we'll take our sodium chloride salt solution, insert our nichrome wire, and place it in the flame. The third cation spectra we'll be looking at is potassium. So we have our potassium chloride salt solution, insert our nichrome wire, and place it in the flame. So the next cation spectra we'll be looking at is strontium. So we'll take our strontium chloride solution, place our nichrome wire in, and then place it in the flame. So the next cation spectra we'll be looking at is calcium. So we'll take our calcium chloride solution, insert our nichrome wire, and place it in the flame. The next cation spectra we'll be looking at is copper. So we'll take our copper chloride salt solution, insert our nichrome wire, and place it in the flame. The next cation spectra we'll be looking at is barium. So we'll take our barium chloride salt solution, insert our nichrome wire, and then we'll place it in the flame. So the first unknown cation spectra we'll be looking at, unknown number 1, we'll insert our nichrome wire and place the unknown number 1 in the flame. The second unknown cation spectra we'll be looking at, unknown number 2, we'll place our nichrome wire into unknown salt solution number 2, and then place it in the flame. And now we'll look at our third unknown cation spectra. So this is unknown number 3. Insert our nichrome wire, and we'll place our nichrome wire in the flame. You will now need to determine what our unknown cations were. Okay, so for part D of this experiment, we're going to be qualitatively looking at different light sources. So right now we have an ultraviolet light source on. So I'm going to reach out and feel, and this ultraviolet light, I don't really feel any heat coming off of it, not at all. So I'm next going to take a piece of white cloth, and we're going to see how it appears with the ultraviolet light. So here's our ultraviolet light and the white cloth. Again, still no heat coming off of this. Okay, so the next light source we have is your standard incandescent light bulb. So if I feel up here next to the light bulb, there is heat coming off of this. I can feel it. I wouldn't want to touch the light bulb with my hand, but it's not going to burn me at this point. So there's warmth coming off of this light bulb. Then we're going to look at how the cloth looks underneath it. So this is our white cloth underneath the incandescent light bulb. Okay, so the next light source we have is a heat lamp. And so if I feel the heat lamp, remember how I had my hand pretty close to the incandescent bulb? This is actually burning me right now, so I can't hold my hand that close. It's quite warm even this far away. So the heat lamp is generating quite a bit of heat off of it. Then if we look at our cloth, so this is our cloth, our white cloth underneath the heat lamp. Okay, so the last thing we're going to be looking at is a hot plate. The hot plate's been on for a little bit. Put my hand over it. It's definitely warm. Not as hot as the heat lamp, but hotter than the incandescent light bulb. And then if I put the cloth next to it, I mean, this is what happens with the cloth. So that concludes parts B and parts D of our atoms and spectra experiment. Thank you for joining me for this laboratory.